Doggy, strike you down.
Really drives me freaking crazy. Let me finish. That is absurd. What a disgrace. Now, for crying out loud, I'm glad you came back, doggy.
Strike me
down. Yes, sir. I can't hear you, gosh darn it. They took my headset off. Where is that doping deck? What's the matter with the jam? You're nuts, you're nuts. I love you. Strike me down. Yes, sir. A disgrace. Don't go out. Now, when I ask for it. I am strong and powerful. Let's wake everybody up, huh? Jeez, if I have to break down Kawhi Leonard where he's going to play next year, I'm going to go crazy, Stephen. Crazy. Okay, number one. I don't want to hear now, we're a week away from the draft, let's leave Rodgers alone. Everybody's going to want to know what Rodgers is going to do, and everybody's going to blame him for keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers and their fan base and guys like me in the media, on edge, deciding if he's going to play in 2026. You knew with Rodgers, and the Steelers knew with Rodgers, this is his game plan. He's going to leave after the end of the postseason year when they got buried by Houston. He was going to go out to Oregon, hang out in a cave, and wake up around the draft to tell us and tell them if he was going to play in 2026. I think he will play, but everybody right now, we got our buddy Adam on podcast. You could tell the Steelers are a little frustrated because they got to decide what they're going to do with the draft pick. Maybe they take Ty Simpson anyway, but you get the idea. Everybody right now is getting a little annoyed at Rodgers. What's the delay? Why haven't we found out if you're going to play enough? This is what you get with Rodgers. It's not his fault anymore. It's the Steelers' fault. When you make a deal with Rodgers and you tell everybody at the end of the season, as Art Roney Jr. did say, well, we like to have him back next year. We want to be competitive. Well, this is what you get. He's going to tell you about 5 minutes before you make your selection next Thursday whether he's going to decide to play in 2026, and you have to live with it. He's earned that. This is his body of work. This is what he does. So if you're the Steelers, no moaning and gloating this week. If you're a Steeler fan, no moaning and gloating this week. You make a deal with Aaron Rodgers. You work with Aaron Rodgers. This is what you get with Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll play. He'll let us know in his due time. He's done this forever. So if you're the Steelers, deal with it. Number one.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
I mean, you're right, but what do you want, a cookie? I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, it's the Steelers' decision. I mean, that's your take. I mean, I have to admit, you know what's there to be mad about? It's not like they're pointing the finger at Rodgers. He's the headline. He's the news. But we all know it's on the Steelers because you don't have to sit around for this waiting game. It's an indictment against the organization because you're going the geriatric route in football parlance, that is, by waiting for a soon-to-be 43-year-old quarterback to make a decision as to whether or not he wants to play for you because your options are minimal. That's an indictment against the organization. Everybody knows it. And quite frankly, I think it's a relatively weak take on your part. It's one of the worst takes that you had about what are you mad about. I'm mad at you for the damn take because I think it's a waste of time.
You should have seen the other ones that gave me an option for number 3, so you'd be happy to get that. Number 2.
Hey, do you remember the Steelers haven't even offered him a contract yet? Remember he went on McAfee and said, I haven't even been offered a contract yet.
The contract.
Maybe give him a contract for him
hold
to
on now. The
contemplate.
contract's easy. If he wants to play there, pay him.
Well, if it's so easy, give it to him so he can make a decision. Now go on.
Number 2. What the Spurs did on Sunday night against Denver was an absolute disgrace. If they play Wemby, who didn't play, and they beat the Nuggets, which I think they would have beaten if he did play, they would have avoided Denver for the postseason. Instead, they didn't play Wemby because he had played the 65th game. They counted that Challenge Cup final, so they didn't play him in the game. And so what happens is the Spurs, if they beat Portland, they're wrapped up with Denver in the second round. If they had beaten Denver at home last Sunday night, last game of the year, NBC at 8:30, the Nuggets drop to the 4-5, and they play the winner of Lakers-Rockets down there. So now they are forced to play Jokic. When he beats the Timberwolves, they won 14 in a row. They won a championship a few years ago. He's the best player in the league, and not even an issue. and you suddenly got Murray. You had a chance to knock them out of there, not to have to worry about them in round 2 of the postseason. Now, if you're the Spurs, because you decide to give Wemby the day off when he has a week off before the playoffs begin, now you're going to have to beat the Nuggets and the Thunder back-to-back to get to a final. That was mind-boggling to me. You got a chance to knock Denver out of the 3-hole, and you don't got to play them in round 2, and you let Wemby sit at 22 years of age? That is asinine. Look at the playoff structure. Say to yourself, would I rather play Denver or the banged-up Lakers in round 2? You'd rather play the Lakers if they get by Houston. Mind-bogglingly stupid by the Spur organization. That is number 2. What are you laughing for, Shay?
You're right. You're right. You're just so psychotic, but you're right. You're right. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I don't view it that way. I don't view it that way. First of all, Wemby had an injury. The not playing him bought an additional 7 to 8 days for him to heal up for the playoffs. That's number 1. And number 2, I can't believe the hypocrisy of Mad Dog Russo. This is not a good day for him. San Antonio Spurs have the attitude. We know who the hell we are. We took out the reigning defending NBA champion in 4 to 5 meetings. We beat them. And we'll take out Denver too. We don't give a damn. We don't care who we're going up against. As long as we're healthy and ready to go, we don't give a damn about who might be waiting for us in round 2 or round 3. We'll take them. Doggy, the doggy that I once knew and loved, the doggy that I once revered, would love this stuff. He would be like, hey, way to be courageous. You know, you confident in who you are. We don't give a damn. Let's go. But instead, you're maligning them for it now. You have changed. You have gotten softer. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you today, but it is what it is.
Game 6 in Denver when they're down 3-2. You tell me in the second round if you want to place Jokic.
They ain't going to be down 3-2. They ain't going to be down 3-2.
All right, number 3. Number 3. Listen, this is ridiculous of what the NBA did. And I know they did it for the money. They got a fortune. They blew off all their local carriers who carry all these regular season games. You know, the first 7 games of the NBA postseason are on Prime Video. First 7. All 4 play-in. The Knick Hawk on Saturday at 6 o'clock is on Prime Video. You don't get a game on over-the-air until 8:30 Saturday night with the Lakers and the Rockets. Think about that for a second. You got to find where these games are on Prime Video. That is number 1. And how about if you were a Portland and a Phoenix fan on 2 nights ago when that game went in overtime and you panic, not knowing, hold on now, I don't have my local team doing the Trailblazers Suns. I got to go find it. You got to go fool around with your remote. You got to go back to where you started with your menu and find out and click the Trailblazers and Suns. And if you want to watch Trout and the Yankees, you can't do that because you got the Hornet game on. So as a result of that, you got to go figure out how to get to the Yankee-Angel game. And then, over his freaking cookies and milk before he hits the sack, Adam Silver's got to see technical difficulties in the 4th quarter. Technical difficulties. The last time we had technical difficulties in a huge game, you got to go back to 1958 when the Giants and Colts played the championship game at Yankee Stadium, and somebody pulled the plug on the field, and it cost 70 million people a heartache because they didn't know if they were going to finish that great game in overtime, and the Colts beat the Giants 23-17 and Amici. We had technical difficulties. That's the first time I have ever seen that, and I've been watching sports for 60 years, that I have seen that in a playoff game where I got to make sure it's 15 seconds to go. I almost didn't see the finish of the Charlotte game. Why? Because we had to run the Prime Video. Just like baseball had to run the Netflix. Just like the NFL had to run the Netflix on Christmas Day. Why in the world, the first 8 games or 7 games of the postseason, why are they on Prime Video? You got to be kidding me. And then, of course, if you're Portland Phoenix, you got to scramble to find your game. You got to screw around with your remote, and you kill MSG. How about MSG? And Breen said this the other night. Good for him. 80 games they do in the regular season in the NBA, and they usually do the first round of the playoffs. First year, no first round for local television. So they're there all year for 6 months covering Knicks Kings in January, and then the first round of the playoffs, we don't get Clyde Frazier in New York. What a joke. Number 3.
Really quickly, I agree with you. I hear what you're saying. Last night, first of all, I was watching that Heat Hornets game when that happened. And then last night, you know what? It was technical difficulties in my hotel room while I was watching the game with the Clippers and the Warriors. And I had to grab my phone real quick to see it on my phone in real time because the Prime on TV went kaput. But here's the bad news, doggy. Despite how right you are, 170 million people watched regular season games this year. It's an 86% jump in the NBA from last year. That is the reality of the situation. The NBA is flowing right now. So I get that you're complaining about it, but they'll make the argument it's working for them.
Doggy, I don't agree with you. The technical difficulties almost put me in a heart attack. Hey, Stephen A., really quick, one thing to be mad about. Look at how Dog takes his notes. This is a napkin, and it just says Boston, Philly over and over. This is how this dude takes his notes on this pathetic napkin. This is what you should be mad about, that there's no paper for you in the green.
He talks while he's writing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he talks while he's writing.